up, guys? Boomer here. Boomer Smith Podcast, season 2. Season 2. Like Ghostbusters 2. Like the dumb tattoo I got that I was in my 20s. I'm glad you're here. Thanks for joining us. I am glad to be doing this again, and I'm going to talk a little bit about why I took the break from the Boomer Smith Podcast, despite the worldwide response that I've received, especially from Belgium, and adding video to the mix if it's not too much of a pain in the butt, but let me talk first about where we're going forward. Number one, I am going to continue to lay on the Wheel of Fortune etiquette because it's important. It's huge and it's a big piece of my life. Wheel of Fortune it's a monumental part of my day. And let me tell you why. As a dad, I need time alone, away from the kids. And Wheel of Fortune means that it's almost bedtime. And I need to recharge. I need some time alone with Jill, my beautiful wife. And Wheel of Fortune symbolizes that I am almost there. So I celebrate the wheel each and every day. And also, I respect Pat Sajak. And I'll be darned if I don't go through life trying to defend Wheel of Fortune in order to defend what Pat Sajak has built, because I believe Pat has a full understanding of Wheel of Fortune etiquette. I can see it in his eyes when I watch the show. So Wheel of Fortune etiquette will continue. And I want to continue to talk about being a dad, being a husband, and leadership and what makes us healthier. And I want to continue to joke around. I like preaching and teaching, and I hope that you tune into the Righteous Oak Church podcast. But this is a place where I can say all the stuff that I can't say when I'm preaching and teaching. The things that I'm passionate about. I can't go into a church on Sunday and talk about Wheel of Fortune or The Office or branch chain amino acid energy drink from Optimum Energy. I can't do all of those things. Or foam rolling. I will continue to talk about foam rolling on this podcast. Absolutely. Don't worry about that. I got a whole thing planned for foam rolling. No, I don't. But it's going to be more of the same, but deeper. And I want to continue to talk about leadership as I develop leadership in my own life. And I think there's a place for us to joke around in humility throughout those conversations. So I want to be a better me. You want to be a better you. I mean, you're fantastic already, but you want to be better. And plus we want to not take ourselves so seriously too. So I can promise you that I will not take myself too seriously on the Boomer Smith podcast. But let's jump in here. Okay. Wheel of Fortune Monday night. I got my notes up here about it. Now I got fired up because I saw a blatant disregard for probably one of the most important pieces of Wheel of Fortune etiquette that exists. And that's don't leave money on the table. You want to get as much as you can. Pat wants you to have it. He says it all the time. And this guy, Joe, now he left the night with, I think, $38,000 and a car. So he did okay. But here's what happened. And in his lack of respect or knowledge of Wheel of Fortune etiquette, I got heated. I ended up getting a talking to from my wife because of how heated I got during this episode. That was frustrating. So he left money on the table. And I've got the puzzles, believe it or not, right up in front of me here. He left money on the table. All right, so now we're talking fish. The answer is salmon, snapper, squid, and shrimp. Now, I think he knows it. I know it. I mean, of course I know it. And Pat knows it. But he thinks he knows it. But he wants to test out with one more letter. So he says H. And then he goes on to solve the puzzle. And there's an H in shrimp. But you know what also exists? 2 peas in snapper, and a pea in shrimp that weren't called yet. Nobody had called the pea yet. So he goes for the H. He gets his one letter. I think it was $650. But he could have said pea. Get it? He could have said pea. It would have been an additional $1,200. Now, he ended the night with a lot of money. But no matter how much money I have, if somebody goes, hey, do you want this $1,200? I'm like, yeah, sure, I guess. And he just let it go. So I was fired up. I was hot, but I let it go. Well, I didn't actually. I let it build, and I think I called him an idiot. And it was just me and my daughter in the room. She was reading a book. So now, I hope you're sitting down, because continuing here, and oh man, I didn't think I was going to get emotional again, but here I am. So okay, continuing. We get to the lightning round, the speed round, and it's rhyme time. So of course, the puzzle, the answer is going to rhyme. It's rhyme time. That's how it goes. So now this gal says, spending the day at the spa. That was her guess. That doesn't rhyme at all, and it was wrong. And you know what, man? I get it. It's easy to say that we should have the answers when we're just sitting there watching, when you're in the heat of the moment. So I'll give it to her. She said spending the day at the spa. Nope, wrong answer. Okay. Now it goes back to Joe, and Joe's, ultimately the winner, and he comes back here. But in the speed round, you have a chance for some decent money because they're going to add 1,000 to whatever it was. So it lands on 5,000. It's $6,000. So the winner's going to get $6,000 per letter that they guess when they win. Now, Joe, it comes up to Joe. And all right, Joe says I. You don't get any money for vowels. And there's an I. The I in the word spending. And then Joe solves the puzzle. Now, the puzzle is spending the day at the bay, which would mean there's 2 Y's. Each Y would have given him $6,000, and he says I, which gives him nothing, then solves the puzzle. So he wins, ultimately, like I said, he got $38,000. Now, if somebody came to me and said, hey, Boomer, do you want $1,200? Yes, of course I'm going to say yes. Now, basically, somebody came to Joe and said, hey, do you want $12,000? And he says, I. Now, I flipped out. Absolutely flipped out. I run over to tell my wife what's going on. She's giving one of our boys a bath. And, she says, go ahead. So I tell her everything that went on. And then after that, she said, do you think it's good to be calling people idiots in front of our children? And so I went out there and I apologized to her. But man, this got me heated. But anyways, like I said, he got $38,000 in a car. So let's not, let's not get too fired up about it. But let's pay attention to the etiquette of the game. Don't be an idiot. All right. So big news. Moving on. Okay. Wheel of Fortune etiquette. Do not leave money on the table. You get it. Branch chain amino acid energy drink from Optimum Nutrition. Now, this is a fantastic drink, and we actually now get it by the case off of Amazon because it's cheaper, and then we don't run out. And there's different flavors. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. Now, I wrote them because, believe it or not, nobody's paying me to do this. I know, but I wrote them and just said, hey, I'm a huge fan. And I want to make sure you understand this, that I'm going to continue to support your product regardless of your answer here. But I would like it if you sponsor the program at $1 a month. And that's, how I left it. They wrote back to me in the time since I last spoke with you folks. They actually wrote back to me here. So now I'm going to read this because it hurts, but it's encouraging too. So I want to make sure that we're both reading this together and we're on the same page. Now, first, let me just let you know right away, they rejected my sponsorship request. Hi, Boomer. Thanks so much for reaching out. That's a great way to do that. I mean, they're like waiting on me basically to reach out. Unfortunately, we're not currently expanding our affiliate / ambassador team at this time. We appreciate your inquiry and support. Keep up the great work. Now look at this. Unfortunately, I mean, they had made this decision to not expand their affiliate and their ambassador team. And then I reach out. So it's like, they're like, unfortunately, we just suspended it. Oh, why didn't you reach out earlier, Boomer? So it is what it is. But then they end it with keep up the great work. That means the fans of the show, friends of the podcast over at Optimum Nutrition Show. Thanks, guys. I get it. You guys make these. There's probably some board of a bunch of stiffs that made that decision to, seize the ambassador affiliate program. But I'm here. You got my information now. I know you've been asking around for it probably, but now you have it because I emailed you. So yeah, it is what it is. But I will continue to support the product regardless of if they pay me or not because it's delicious. And 5 calories a can. You beat that? Another thing that's happened since the last time we spoke. Now, as a dad, as a husband, as somebody that is embarking on probably really a new entrepreneurial journey over the last year, I'm busy. And one of the reasons that we haven't done the podcast, the Boomer Smith podcast, in a month or so is because there's other priorities, and we got to make sure we tend to those priorities. Now, in that busyness, I still want to be able to watch Netflix. I still want to be able to watch TV shows. Now, moving forward in the Boomer Smith podcast, what I do promise you is real honest reviews of what you should watch, because there's nothing more frustrating as a dad, as a husband, as an entrepreneur, as a busybody. I do not want to waste my time with crap on TV. So I need to know what's good, because it takes me 4 days to watch a movie at 20-minute spans. This is all I can do, away from the kids, especially if there's a lot of killing and cussing, which there usually is. But you get it. You get it. I'm busy. You're busy. So what I promise to do is to update you on what I watched to let you know if it's worth the time or not. Okay. So now this one took a while. I didn't want to watch this one with the kids, but I got through it. And this is what I was disappointed on. I loved Haunting of Hill House. I liked it. My wife and I watched it together. She liked it too. She was scared though. I liked it. So Haunting of Bly Manor. This is, a second imagining of the same theme, right? Comes on Netflix, so I'm going to watch it. And I watched it all, and it wasn't that good. That's my review. It's not that good. Let me tell you the best part. This is really the best part of it. And some characters were good, though. So it had potential. That's what frustrates me. It had potential. But it was kind of mad. But here's the best part. And let me sum it all up for you. This is all you need to know. Hey, that's that girl from You. That's it. That's all you need to know. So that wraps up Haunting of Bly Manor. So if you're on the fence about it, don't worry about it. That girl from You is in it. And there you go. That's a review. For review. That's seriously it. That's what you can expect. Because I'm a no-nonsense guy when it comes to Netflix. I take that stuff very seriously. Now, seriously. Over time, over the years, it's been easy for me to get real busy. It's been easy for me to put a lot of stuff on my plate and then be frustrated, because you get stressed out, you get a lot of stuff on your plate. It weighs on you. And over, I've seen this, especially in my marriage, in my relationship with Jill, that I can put too much stuff on my plate and be frustrated because I'm not handling it the way I would like to be. And then sometimes I can portray it onto her as, she should be helping me some way or, things like that. So she's done a great job of humbling me. That's the best part I would say about marriage, is the humility that comes with it. When you're just side by side with one person, you see all the things in you, all the tendencies that, you wouldn't normally see if you're just by yourself, because by yourself, you don't have accountability. You don't have to answer to anybody. And I love that about marriage. So in a hiatus from the Boomer Smith podcast, I had to take time to really, how do I do things the best way possible as far as time goes, my energy, my resources, and still be a kick-ass dad and husband, because those are the important things, that I serve my family well. Boomer Smith podcast is secondary, obviously, to all of that. So during the last couple months, I was able to take a few days and do a silence and solitude retreat. I've done this many times before. I'd like to do it every year, but when you have family and stuff, it's harder to get away. It's harder to get away and spend time just by yourself. But I think it's important for all of us. And in that time, life slows down. You're away from the phone, the tablet, the social media, and you really have time to grasp what's important and to maybe strategize going forward. And then maybe to maybe understand some things that you're thinking, some lies maybe that you've been telling yourself. I think it's also a great time to give yourself some grace and step back and stop beating yourself up. But taking, those few days, and I prayed and I wrote, and it was great to get disconnected from electronics and instant gratification. Now let me tell you this. It is challenging to just get away and spend time by yourself for long periods of time. It is challenging because you're forced to tackle this guy up here and analyze some of the stuff that you think and then that you believe. But I've never come out of these things worse off. I'm always better off having done it. It's never been a waste of time. So then in that too, I'm excited to move in now to a new season of the Boomer Smith podcast with even better quality content, because your standards are huge. So that's another thing. You got to take the time off to make sure I'm giving you the best, because you have incredibly high standards in your podcast material, especially you folks in Belgium. Belgium numbers are still through the roof. I can see your downloads even without new content, and I love you for it. But you and I, no matter what we think, we're getting older. And if we're not going to slow down and take the time to enjoy our families and our kids and enjoy some peace without trying to accomplish and do, I think we'll realize that we missed out on some pretty serious years of our lives. So for me, that means pushing into my own alone time so that I am recharged and able to better handle my family, better hang out with them, better love them, better serve them, and also better do the Boomer Smith podcast here with you folks. So know this going forward, I will only give you the best. We're going to do one episode a week instead of the two that I was doing before, but we are going to hammer on the issues. Wheel of Fortune etiquette, how to take better care of ourselves and love each other. So love you guys.